This is disassembly and reassembly of Shimano roller brake. This is model BR-IM45-R. So the first piece is to take off the cover. It's held in place with a little clip underneath the edge of the black metal piece here. I find that I think I have to use a screwdriver actually to pry it off. Okay, so that you can just set aside. Then the next piece is the piece that is pulled on by the brake lever. This is spring-loaded, so remove it carefully so it doesn't fly at your face. You take those pieces, set them aside. Then the spring clip. Take that apart. So take note of where the two pins are here. The silver one is one that you have to realign when reassembling, and so it's easiest to remember that this is in the side of the arm here that has two holes in it, and it goes in the lower one. Okay, so then, this has a couple of tabs on the underside here and here, which hold it together. It's easiest to take apart if you slide it towards those pins and pull the opposite side up, and the whole assembly comes up. So this arm comes out, black piece comes off, and then the bearings and the race that they sit in come straight out, and then the brake shoes themselves come out, and then the bearings themselves come out of the race if they need to be cleaned. Okay, so to put it back together, put the shoes in first, then the race for the bearings. Not really bearings, but I don't know what else to call them. The rollers, I guess, that the roller brake is named after. The rollers go back into the race. Okay. Now the fiddliest part of this is to get this little black actuator arm into the outer assembly and lined up such that the tab from the race sticks through it in the right place and the actuator arm fits into the roller. So this may take me a minute to get it right. So remember, we wanted to get this silver tab that sticks up from the race into the lower arm here, or the lower slot, I mean, at the same time as getting the tab for the actuator arm through the outer assembly and sliding into the race, in between the rollers in the right position. So what I found is the easiest thing to do is to try again once again to line the pins on the tabs on the back side of the upper assembly, slide them on the underside of the heat diffuser first. Let's see if I can do it. All the while trying to line up the rest of it. Oh, and also I forgot one other thing. These there are three tabs that fit down into the interior of the shoes. Oops. So you can see 1, 2, 3 spots where they fit. So you need to line those up something like that. Oops. There we go. So that now they're all lined up. And now go back and get this little actuator arm to fit inside. Okay. And all the while keeping the pin from the race in the right place. Okay, so this is roughly lined up. So then I'm going to try to slide the tabs from the upper assembly, the black piece, around the lip that they fit into. There we go. And then, hopefully, jiggle it around just there. We go. Alright, so you can see the tab fits into this lower slot here, in the same one as the upper tab from the upper assembly. And the actuator arm is moving freely in the rollers, so that's good. Okay, so then the next thing is to put the spring clip back on. So on mine, this has been disassembled and reassembled a couple of times, so you can actually see the outline of where it was previously. But the idea is that it's gonna hold the pin from the race away from the pin on the upper assembly. So it's actually easiest, the race has a little spot on the underside, and it will slip down if you let it go. So it's easiest to do this one first when it's not under tension. So slide it on there, and then it's easier to slide onto the piece from the upper assembly. Okay, so just like that. It's still sliding smoothly. Okay. Now the next thing is to put this piece together. So this fits into the outer case like that and slides back and forth. So the brake cable has there's a notch where the cable runs in, and there's a little hold nut that sits in that groove. So this lower piece is spring loaded, however. So if you remember from the disassembly, the places where the spring goes are the hook goes into this outer lever piece. It fits in there like that. Oops, and slides down. And then the hook on the spring slides into the left corner of the widest slot on the upper assembly here, where the actuator arm runs. So it slides under that corner. Oops. And again, mine has been assembled and disassembled a couple times, so there actually is some scratches where it previously sits. And then, I should also point out before I put this on, so the actuator arm actually fits into a slot on the bottom here. And so that's what you're going to ultimately be trying to line up. So let me actually take this off to put it back together. Okay, so spring slides into this here, and then, oops, trying to keep it flat so that when the whole assembly sits down on top of here, it sits flat. And the hook goes under that slot edge, and then load it up until it fits, there we go, on top of the actuator arm. And that probably will sit without being held down. It's not too likely to spring off. But nevertheless, then the outer cover fits on top of it. Again, this has a tab which needs to be fitted first. And then, there we go, it fits down, and then clip it back together. So there we go, and you can see this moves mostly freely, unless the brake lever pulls on it, in which case it grabs. The rollers are expanding the shoes into the hub that they sit in. So there we go, and it looks smooth. Great. So there you have it.